Oh my goodness, everyone. Do you notice that our friend Jenny has a new title? She has crowned herself the Get Shit Done coach.
Yeah, yeah. So I got some feedback that the money coach thing was kind of confusing based on what we did. We still will do money. I mean, that's a goal. But yeah, I think this is more appropriate because
Yeah.
you know the money side of it now, so you can teach it as well as I can, and we're
Yeah.
really about getting shit done is what we're all about, right?
Yeah, especially you. You like to get shit done.
I do. I do. I do. So it's February.
It is.
Can you
I
believe it?
Oh my gosh, January flew by, but we I mean it was amazing. So
It
many
was
amazing things. But now we're stepping into February and our February habit.
I know. It's fun. We've had fun with the January habit, and if you missed it, no
You didn't
worries.
miss anything.
No, we've been writing our goal down, our one goal
Yes,
every day
that we're working.
that we're working. Yes, we we had to refrain it because it's like, well, I'm not writing it down on the weekends if I'm not working. It's like, well, of course I'm not. So yeah, so yeah, but
Again,
we get a new habit.
it's all about making it work for you, not against you.
Right.
Uh, and I'm the person that makes up lots of extra rules to
We
make
all
it
are.
harder.
Yeah, but that was the conversation we were having. It was like, well, I can't hit 31 days because I'm not doing it on the weekend. I'm like, I'm not either. So dump the rules. So yeah, yeah.
And the
Okay.
31 is just arbitrary,
It is.
really. I
It is.
mean, the goal is to do it
Yeah.
and do it for a period of time. And honestly, we would love it if you were like, I kept writing my goal all the way through the year. That's the real goal.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do. So these are habits that are going to build on each other. So you're not behind. You can jump in and start writing your number one goal down every time you sit at your desk or every time you plan your day, whatever parameters you want to put around that. But let's talk about this month's goal because
Oh,
I'm excited. Or habit, not goal. I'm a goal
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Habit.
Everything's a goal for you.
Yes. So what's our habit this month, Jenny?
It is the 10-minute reset break. Break, people. Like,
Great. I can't get
no,
shit done if I'm breaking.
you need to break, though, Miss Jenny.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, so we have been led to believe that, like, powering through, just keep going is the way to go. Like,
It's
oh,
more
I don't want to break my
productive.
flow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and there is certainly times where, you're in the flow and you're going to finish something up because you're at that place. But most of the time, we need to be taking breaks regularly, and so we're starting small,
Mhm.
and then you have the opportunity to level up based on where you're at.
Yeah.
So a habit of at least one 10-minute reset break in your day.
Yeah. So how
Every
this is going to look is you're going to focus for 50 minutes. We have an alternative, but just stay with me for a minute. So we're going to pick, okay, for this 50 minutes, I'm going to focus. And I have the the little dot thing over here. I don't want to say her name or she'll start talking to me, but I'll say set a timer for 50 minutes. I focus for that amount of time. And when it goes off, I finish my sentence or whatever I'm doing. And then I get up and I take a break.
Yeah. I mean, and that's certainly a great way to start. For
Mhm,
some people, it might just be saying at 10 o'clock in the
mhm.
morning, I've set an alarm to get up and take a 10-minute break. So,
Yes.
it's pick your flavor. So, what Jenny's talking about is what some of you may know of as the Pomodoro method,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it's doing a series of focused work
Yep.
followed by a break, and you do a couple of those in a row, and then you take a longer break, say like lunch. I don't know. Maybe you don't work through lunch. You get out of your desk area and you go have lunch in
Mhm.
your wherever that is. So 50 minutes. So in that sense, if you're at that level, you're feeling like you want to try it, um, and maybe that's what you do at the beginning of the day. You're like, I'm going to do one of these 50-10 things, and then
Mhm.
you knock it off and, just make that your goal
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
make this your own. This is you make it your own. So what works for me, I am more productive in the morning than I am in the afternoon. So I will do 2 or 3 of these in the morning, and then by the afternoon it's like, okay, let's get this done, and then I can take a break. I don't even time myself. But in the morning, because that's when I'm my most productive, that's when I have a little bit more structure to my day, but that's what works for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so it's like you said. I mean, and in the mornings, this is common because a lot of people resonate with, oh, that's my best time of the day, and it makes sense because we've just woken up, our brain power is fully recharged. And when we're focused on tasks like that require a lot of
Mhm.
um, cognitive functioning, the front part of our brains, it burns a lot of energy.
It
So
does.
it's
Mhm.
normal that by the afternoon time, you've pretty much depleted the stores related to that. And
Mhm.
so, like I might still use the method of doing alternating work and breaks, but I might make the work session shorter and the
Mhm.
break session longer. Um, or that's where we both schedule like the little things, like,
Mhm.
oh, I got to fix this on my calendar, I got to respond quick to this email.
Yeah.
Those types of things that don't require a lot of thinking
Mhm.
power,
Mhm.
they just need to get done. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I schedule a lot of my calls in the afternoon because it's fun to me.
Yeah.
That's fun. And I don't, it's easier. It's an easier activity. So I did some research because when we talked about doing this, I was very resistant because I was one of those, oh, you grind, you push through. What do you mean you pee during the day? No,
Yes. Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm corporate America 101, you stayed chained to your desk at all times.
Mhm.
So the statistic I found was you are 23% more likely to finish tasks on time by taking intentional breaks,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
didn't believe. So I tested it. And by taking breaks, I'm literally getting more done than I did not taking breaks.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat that timer. I'm trying to, there's all these little games that I play with me and this timer over here. So,
Well, and I think it's also the focus. Like you,
yeah.
in your brain, you declare the thing you're going to do during that 50 minutes. Um, and you're less likely to be like, oh, email message. Oh, text message.
You
You know,
mean
that,
like butterfly? Oh, butterfly,
yeah,
butterfly,
yeah,
shiny object.
yeah, squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that that's part of it is definitely you're giving your brain a constrained amount of time, which it likes,
Hmm.
because we get discouraged if it feels like things are going to go on forever.
Hmm.
Um, you can see the time tick away, especially if you have more of a physical timer, or I use my phone, so I'll check and be like, "Oh, I have 5 minutes left." Then it's more like, "Oh, what can I get done in this next
Mhm.
5 minutes?"
Yeah.
Um, to leave myself off in a good place.
Mhm.
So I can see how that can improve the finishing of tasks, the um, the the number of tasks that you're able to complete in a day. There's a Parkinson's law that um, activities that we do expand to fill the time
Yeah.
we give it
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
So it's not to say all your tasks are going to get accomplished in a 15-minute window,
Oh, no, 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 no.
but it's more around like, okay, I'm going to chunk it down
Mhm.
into 50-minute segments.
Mhm.
And whether, like if you're working on a big presentation, maybe you only work on it for 50 minutes today and then you pick it back up the next day, versus plowing through,
To get it
trying to
done.
get it all done in one
Mhm.
time. And the advantage of that process is that when you're not working on something that you have to come back to, your brain is still working on it.
Yeah, and that's a good segue into the other thing that I noticed, and it's sometimes when we get stuck, it's like, just not sure what the next step is. I mean, this what I have written down doesn't feel right. I really want this to go another way, just kind of jockey, bouncing ideas off yourself. By getting up and resetting, the next step usually will come to me during my 10-minute break that I'm walking around the house, going to the restroom, getting my water, letting the dogs out, maybe doing
Mhm.
dishes, whatever, something different than just sitting here. It's like, oh, I know what's next. And it just amazes me how quickly I can get unstuck by just getting up and moving around.
Mhm.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
there's science behind it, but
Oh, there totally is, but we'll just go with the awe and amazement today because it happens to us all, right? Like
right.
you go for a short walk and you're just looking at like the neighborhood and all of a sudden your brain pops out like, "Ooh, idea for solving this issue that we've been
Right,
working on."
right.
So, yeah, let's talk about the breaks specifically.
Okay. Mhm.
What are there like things that we can and cannot do during these breaks?
You need to get away from your desk, right? I mean, I think that's really the only rule, unless you want to meditate or something like that.
And even then, I'd say move to a different space,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that too. Certainly there may be times where maybe you're doing some stretches at your desk or whatever, where it might not be practical. Um, but I think like the getting up and moving, sitting is the new smoking,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So we all could probably stand a little bit more. Um, the other piece is your focus distance changes.
Mm,
So um, the brain gets happy when it can change like the distance of focus. So you go from like, oh, I'm looking at my monitor or I'm looking at my phone, right? This
mhm.
distance to seeing things farther out. Um,
On
so
the distance.
on the distance, horizon. Yes. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yes. Please watch out for my arms in this one. It's a
It's
good.
all
Sometimes it's a good thing we're doing this like not in person because I might like hit someone.
I doubt that. I doubt that.
Yeah, so it's really anything that gets you up and away
Mhm,
for about 10 minutes. My favorite stuff is, you already mentioned quite a few of them. Like, I go and I switch the laundry around,
mhm,
or I put the dishes away,
mhm,
or, I go down and snuggle with my kitty, Mr.
mhm.
Chief Interruption Officer.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want during that time. It's
Mhm.
just we would encourage you to get like you're making a conscious change to what you do by getting up and moving away from your desk.
Yeah. I would shy away from any socials. Don't just get on your phone. I mean, literally, it's like you want to take an electronic break. If you spend most of your day in front of a computer
Mm,
screen or a phone or something like that, you want to get away from the electronics for 10 minutes and it will go by so fast. It's
yeah,
amazing.
get a
What
water
other, yeah, get some water and go pee for God's sakes.
at the very least.
Well, and I want to just say this before we wrap up. Another thing I noticed when I do this diligently, so I'm really excited that we're going to do this as a habit because I'd like to get better at it. I don't roll into my evening ready to just become a
Mm,
couch potato. It's like, okay, let me get dinner done, get everybody fed, clean up, and then I'm ready to sit down and watch a show or read a book or whatever my next thing is. But I don't find that I have to go couch veg for about 30 minutes to an hour, which turns into 2 hours. And it's like, hey, we just need to order pizza tonight because I'm not cooking or whatever that turns into. I'm not doing that as much. I can easily transition out of work into home so much easier when I've taken just a 10-minute break throughout the day. It's amazing. And a longer break for lunch too. I'll add that in. But
yeah, yeah. I think it is like you haven't you've left a little bit in the tank,
yeah.
so that you have the mental fortitude to cook dinner
Hmm.
instead of call for takeout, or um, maybe you do read a book instead of just scrolling on the
Yeah.
reels on Instagram. There's more space for it, instead of just pouring yourself into the couch or on the bed and just being like, I'm totally, I mean,
I'm done.
I can tell when my brain is like completely toasted. Like I cannot
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that I would encourage everyone, like, as you do this, um, if you do more 10-minute breaks and take more breaks throughout the day, are you noticing that difference in the evening time?
Hmm.
And um, we love what we do in our work, but it often causes us to shortchange the rest of the parts of our lives because we pour all our energy into it.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be a great, I mean, I think that sells me on the benefit of taking a break. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody give it a try. So we've got another workbook. I mean, because that's who we are. And so the link is in the show notes. So if you're wanting more information on it, there's tons there. And
yeah, lots of great things.
yeah.
Ways, tips, ways to structure it. We'd be remiss. We're continuing with the lottery, using the lottery effect to
Mhm.
motivate us. Pull a slip each time we do our habit for the day. So the first
Yeah.
time you take your break, you would pull a slip, and it'll either be a motivational high five, you're doing great, or it'll be a little reward you can give yourself on your
While you're
break.
on your break. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So yeah, get
Yeah.
get the workbook, and we'll be excited to hear from people. Comment
Yeah.
if you've got questions, if you're running into challenges, if the brain is fighting with you, like that inner voice, my shady Sheila, I call her. Just pop it in the comments, and we'll be in there reading them,
Hmm.
and we'll give you some pointers,
Yeah.
suggestions.
Yeah. Because I resisted it I'll be the first one to say I resisted it. When we talked about this, I was like, I'm sorry, you want me to what? So, grinding through your day is no longer a badge of honor. Let me
No.
be the first to tell y'all it was all a lie. We are not getting more done. We are actually expending more energy than anything else. So, I challenge you guys to give it a try.
Yeah, you're on the road to burnout if you aren't giving yourself breaks.
10
So it
minutes,
may not
people.
be,
10 minutes.
maybe the short-term benefits are not
Yeah.
not enough to motivate you. Long term, don't pull yourself out of the game entirely because you've hit burnout.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Great
all right.
information.
Awesome. We'll see everyone next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.